Perhaps one of the most interesting developments with the situation between Ukraine and Russia is the revitalization somewhat of shortwave radio. Some shortwave broadcasters have even brought their streams back online so you can listen to them on shortwave. That is why I always have felt that a good AM/FM shortwave radio is really important for your gear, for your emergency gear, your bug out bags, everything. Today, I'm going to be showing you something that really is pretty darn neat. This is the Raddy RF75A AM/FM, VHF, and shortwave radio. It's got tons of features, and it can be controlled by an app. So this one is interesting. Let's check it out. You know, it's absolutely amazing how small electronics have gotten today. This thing is about the same size as one of those smaller deck of cards. And I think it would be awesome for your everyday carry, if you carry more stuff than usual, your emergency kits, your bug out bags, and a general emergency receiver. One of the things I finally remembered to do was to do some of the testing of the shortwave last night. I always find shortwave works better at night anyway. And I just literally threw up my antenna up on the rack there where I store some extra toilet paper for emergencies. And I was shocked at what this little thing was pulling in. I know I've tested a lot of these smaller radios, and testing them in the daytime is always a challenge. And plus, you have to remember, when you see the tests, you'll hear a lot of electronic background noise, you know, from the lights in here and the inverters running. And so I was really impressed that this was actually able to break through that and pull in a decent amount of shortwave stations, as well as the weather band and AM/FM and VHF channels. So you not only can use this to monitor shortwave and AM and FM, but you can get your weather station on this, as well as VHF stations. So some 2-meter ham stuff, maybe some public service stuff if they're not on digital or trunked. You can pick up a lot of stuff with this little radio. So it's definitely really, really handy. Another thing that was neat is it's much easier for me to figure this one out than previous smaller shortwave rigs that I've reviewed in the past. Now, something this small, of course, can't have all the buttons it needs to do all of the features. And Raddy's kind of gotten around that by having a very simple to use phone app. This naturally, when you turn it on, will transmit Bluetooth, okay? And it will want to connect with your phone. You can connect the app with your phone here and do so much more. And it's laid out on your phone so much better, you know, than pushing a button and pushing a function and hold. And I mean, you can still operate everything from the front end, but it does so much more with the phone app. So you have give me a look around the radio first. Okay. That's it there. And the speaker is impressive too. Now this also will take a flash card. So if you have a flash card, a trans flash card with your music on it or whatever, you can stick it in there and play it. Okay. Something I did forget to do was remove that plastic cover. But I'm really impressed with it, I gotta say. Really nice radio. Very easy to turn on. You're just going to basically turn it on like that. Okay. There's your sleep timer. You push and hold again. And there's your FM radio.
Now she is isolated, unable to sleep.
And if you want to mute that, you just mute it. You push the power button once and you'll notice a little thing that mutes it. So we're going to turn it off because I don't want to play music. We're going to do that later in there. You can also see how well the sound was on that. Really nice sounding radio. Now, another nice thing with the phone app is you are able to do presets. You're able to go in here and store a bunch of preset stations. So if you take this on a bug out, a trip, a camping trip, whatever, you've got your presets in there. If you have a favorite shortwave station you listen to, or maybe you want to monitor military traffic on, you know, 11175 or 8892, you can do that. You can put it in there and store it, and it's got like a memory mode. So you can go through your memories very, very easily. The buttons on the front, pretty simple, okay? You have your power button, your lock button. This on the side here, if you quick press, will give you a light. There you go. Okay. Now if you push it and hold it, I'm going to push it and hold it, it'll give you an alarm mode. So let's say you're stuck somewhere and you want to be noticed, you push that. But quick double press will give you all the light you need. And that's a very pretty darn bright light. You can't tell under all these studio lights here. Put it on my hand. But yeah, it's a pretty darn bright light. So they've actually included a light in this that's actually pretty decent. Now when I first saw this, I thought this popped open or something. It doesn't. It's just a cover. You have your USB-C charger there, a plug for your headphones, which it comes with. The only thing I'm going to address as far as a downside on this is the antenna is very, very thin. Okay. Now, this does come with an external antenna. If you're going to use the external antenna, I recommend you do like I just did there. Okay. Take it down to its lowest possible, thickest area. Leave a little bit out and clip your external antenna on there. We're going to get into the accessories it comes with in a minute. I'll show you all that, but that's how I recommend you do that. You do have a volume up and down here, a delete, a time set, a memory if you want to go into memory mode or set, and a band function there, so you can switch through the bands. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, I'm just going to switch through the bands. There's AM, shortwave, weather, and Bluetooth. Okay, so that's what I mean. You can connect this to your phone. You can connect this to your phone and play music from your phone into it, or you can connect this to your phone and use the app. I'm going to show you the app here quickly. Let me turn that off. But I want to show you the accessories that this comes with, okay? So, of course, you're going to get your charging cable and headphones. I don't know why I'm going to say headphones. You will get extra earbuds if those are too big or too small. These are a little bit smaller. A lanyard. Can't see me using that. I really don't use lanyards much. And here is your little antenna. This copper thing is a big, heavy, thick copper end to the antenna. You can stick this around a tree branch. In my case, I just put it up there and stuffed it under a roll of toilet paper. Actually, a big case of toilet paper. And I was able to keep it secured and steady. And this is your little clip here, your little alligator clip. Okay? So with this, you'll just clip it on there like that. And when I show you the shortwave video that I shot last night, you will understand how much of a difference this little tiny piece of antenna here makes. I believe it's only like 11 feet. Now you could, of course, make a bigger one if you want. Take this off and make it longer or bigger or whatever. But for just everyday carry, and this is more than adequate, it really did a really nice job. You will get a carry case as well. It does not come with this. I was just using that to prop the radio up. So you're going to get a bunch of accessories here. Now, another nice thing, the Type-C charging port, you can quickly recharge your 1,000 milliamp hour battery in 3 to 4 hours total, and that will last you up to 7 or 8 hours. So that's pretty darn good. You do have a different backlight color adjustment. If you want, you can change the backlight colors. You notice it went to green when I turned the radio on, then blue when it was just the time. So you can change that to whatever colors you want. I'm leaving it stock. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm pretty happy with the colors. So all in all, loving the radio. Now, as I said before, you have that Bluetooth 5.0 feature. So you can either put a card in there and listen to music, podcasts, whatever, or you can connect it to your cell phone. Now, what I want to show you here quickly, before we get too far into the weeds here, I want to turn this on, okay? Turn the radio on. I don't want to get the sleep function. Get out of there. Okay, and you can take the sleep function down low as you want. So that way you can say 10 minutes I want to go to sleep, whatever. Okay, I'm going to take the volume down here to like 2 because I don't want that to be the star of the show here. Now I have a cell phone here. This is the cell phone I use. It's not connected to the internet. This is the cell phone I use. I kind of call it my sandbox because it's safe, you know. And I test all my apps out on this to make sure they're legit and they're not going to cause you guys headaches. You know, they're not going to load with spyware or whatever. The app you want is called Radio C. It is available in the, now you see here's a list of Bluetooth devices. There's your phone, there's your radio. And click on it. And there you go. So it's literally controlling that right now. If I move it, I can move it any way I want. You have your equalization that you can set here for however you want to do it. Whether you want to do it with rock music, you know, talk, whatever. You can turn on or off your SOS, your lock, and your alarm. You can connect to the time service here, which will connect to the time service on your phone and set your phone. And you can record on or off. You can also turn on your Bluetooth to connect your phone to it to do any kind of stuff you're going to do with that, play music, whatever. So that's how simple it is to connect this. This app is very, very simple, easy to use. As you can tell here, if I want to change stations, let's say I want to enter 95.1 FM. I hit enter, and there we go. I'm on 95.1 FM. Now, I don't want to play that for too long because I don't want to get a copyright strike. And yes, they'll give it to me for being that low. Anyway, I turned it off so you can see it no longer works. So, let's show you what I did, what I was able to pick up with this with the antenna and this radio last night as I was testing it out. We even got a little AM, which is very unusual out here because our one AM station now went off the air. It used to, you could barely pick it up. They dropped their power in sometime in 2020. Then they went off the air totally, and now they're only an FM talk station. So I'm going to show you what I was able to pick up. I was able to get some AM. I was able to get a lot of shortwave. WWV was having a hard time coming in last night. Very unusual. And I was having a hard time coming in on my HF rig with my G5 RV outside, so I know it wasn't the radio. Anyway, let's check out the stuff I picked up from last night, and I'll bring you back and we'll wrap up the video. I'll tell you where you can pick it up and how much it is.
Man, I got letters from your ex.
It's really pulling in the stations with this little antenna. Now, I do notice that when you put the radio near the phone, you'll get a little bit of the phone interference, but that's pretty impressive. All right, let's keep scanning around. Okay, there's 6 megahertz. I'm talking about Venezuela. That's pretty cool, though. That's really impressive. I'm going to try WWV, see what we get for a time station. Well, I can hear it in the background faint, but it's not coming in all that great. Here we go. Here we go. Just give you a little idea on what the antenna is doing for this radio. Let's take it off for a second. Absolute noise. Clip it back on. You can kind of hear it. I'll put it up to the mic. But the shortwave reception has been really impressive. So I'm going to scan around a little bit more, and then we're going to try maybe some AM and see if we can get some AM, because I'm doing this at night, so I want to see how it comes in. Some kind of religious program on 40 meters. Definitely impressive reception for this little guy. All right, let's try out some AM, being that it's later in the night. Let's see if we can pull in some stations. I did want to quickly show you that it will pick up the weather band, and it will search through the weather bands that are pre-programmed in it. So if we were to move to 425, obviously there's nothing, but 146, 400. And I gotta say, the response between the computer or the cell phone and the radio is instantaneously. It's really fast. There's no lag. Now let's try some AM. We're getting AM 840 out of Las Vegas. Normally we don't get that station. Really, really nice and loud. Let me scan live here and show you what it's like. We're just going to push the scan button down. See if we pick anything up. I doubt we will. I don't know what that is. Some kind of interference from my lights. I'm going to go up to the high bands there. 1430. That's in Spanish. Scroll through. Just to give you an idea how it works when scrolling. You know, with the shortwave, I kind of have to hunt and peck and take a little bit. On the AM band, we've been able to run across a few things. 910 is nothing. But yeah, as you can tell, we're actually... 760 is something, but it's very, very low. It's interesting. We used to get 740 out of San Francisco. You can kind of hear it. Bring it up to the mic so you can hear it. So this is where the noise is coming out of. This is just controlling it. And you got all these extra different little things here. You can turn the sleep button off if you want a sleep timer. You want to turn it off. You can set the alarm down here. Record off. You can synchronize it with the time service on the phone. Definitely a neat little system. All right, lastly, I want to try FM. But I'm only going to play the talk station just so you can see how it works, because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So let's give that a shot here. We're going to move. Oh, wow. We were just quickly on a... There's more shortwave. Okay, there's FM. You can hear that's good. I want to get back to FM. Sorry about that. Let me move it back down to FM where it's just talk only.
Off their Wavelight laser,
but you can see 93.10.
$500 off per ride with guaranteed financing. So book your...
Let's scroll down a little more.
Crispy veggie toppings with your favorite sauce.
The sound from this little guy is amazing.
Subs today or
For such a tiny little speaker, the sound's really impressive. There's some classical music.
Later in his career,
88.9.
Angel has fallen and God
I'm going to put the speaker up here so you can hear the sound.
taken part in a press tour for the 4th John Wick movie, in which he played
The
Sharon.
sound on it's just incredible. You can actually feel the bass in your hands. So I'm actually glad, I'm going to turn this off for a second here. I'm actually glad that I did this at night instead of the daytime, so you can actually see what the radio can pull in. And as I showed you before, I just have a wire just hung up on a shelf here, and I'm pulling in these stations from all over very, very easily. So let's disconnect all this and we will finish up the video, and I will give you final information on it and where you can pick one up, because this is a pretty darn neat radio. All right, so we're back, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was really for a tiny little shortwave like that, with a little tiny little wire antenna, which is really, you know, kind of a compromise. Any antenna is better than none. And again, height is your friend when you're dealing with these types of antennas. You want to get them up as high as possible. I was going to run this outside, however, it's not long enough. If I were to run this here to my garage door and then outside, maybe that much of the antenna would be stuck outside. So I wanted to make sure you guys saw how it worked, even using it indoors, because I understand that a lot of folks may not be able to stick an antenna outside of their apartment, house, whatever, due to HOA regs, and you can just hang that in your room, and that thing was pulling in stations like crazy. Had it been outside, probably would have pulled them in even better. And again, remember, I'm in a very high RF environment here. I've got lights going, inverters going, radio chargers going. So yeah, it's going to be a little noisy, and it's going to be a little staticky, but still, I was able to pull in some stations really, really well. So what does this thing cost? Well, it is $52.99. If you follow my link, okay, and that goes to the Radio Oddity website, you will get 15% off, okay? Just follow the link I put down below. You will get 15% off, and you'll be able to pick up the radio. So that's a pretty darn good deal. I know I have one of the original, what are they, GP55 something or whatever, from CountyCom. And that's a very nice radio. I would put this in the same category. As a matter of fact, for my when I carry a little extra bag, if I'm going somewhere for a day or whatever, if I'm going out with my friends, we go up to the hills to shoot, I always bring a little tiny emergency bag, and I always throw a radio in it. I had a different one in there. This one's going to replace it because I'm really impressed with it. And I love the fact that when I turn it off, it actually turns off. All right, I don't have to worry about that being on all day, that timer. That will eventually shut itself off, and it won't kill the battery. So definitely an impressive little radio. And like I said, the link will be down below. You can use that link. You can save 15% off on the radio. It's $53. Let's just say $53. $52.99. Click the link. You'll save a little bit. I'm really impressed with it. I did want to tell you what it covers now. On AM, it covers 520 to 1710. On FM, it's 64 to 108 megahertz. On shortwave, now, I was a little bummed it didn't go lower on shortwave, but it goes from, 4.750 to 21.850. So you're not going to get 10 meters or 80 meters on this. And it doesn't have sideband anyway, but you will get the center of the shortwave band, so you'll be fine for shortwave. It doesn't do the sideband, unfortunately, but how often are you going to use that when you're listening to AM shortwave broadcasts? Probably never. All right, it does the weather band from 162.4 to 162.55 megahertz, and VHF is 30 to 199.975 megahertz. So it's pretty wide ranged. I would have liked to see maybe a little bit wider on the upper part of the shortwave band, maybe into like the 27s or 28s, but not bad. Gotta say, you get the main part of the shortwave band that you're going to be listening to anyway for shortwave broadcasts. So anyway, folks, that's the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I was really impressed with its performance. The link for it will be down below. That link will save you 15%. Below that's our Amazon affiliate store. If you're really not interested in shopping anything in my store, just click the link, shop as you normally would. We really do appreciate that. Below that is our freeze-dried wholesaler. I'm not talking good today. Freeze-dried wholesaler. Freeze-dried wholesaler link. You will save 15% on that one if you use my link. When you go to the checkout, you'll see the discount. Below that is our My Patriot Supply. That's preparewithiridium.com. Preparewithiridium.com. We have our 3-month kit there. $200 off the 3-month kit, plus a free Alexa Pure water filter. Now, that's one of those big, tall, stand-up gravity water filters. It's the one I'm using in my kitchen. Love the thing. Works very, very well, and you will get one for free. That's like a $239 or $38 value. So basically, you're getting a good deal on that 3-month kit. Now, they also have 2-week and 4-week kits as well. So definitely check it out. And below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Definitely check that out as well. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.